Hey everyone, so you're thinking about buying your first business? That's exciting. But before you sign on the dotted line, I need to warn you about something. Most first-time business buyers make critical mistakes that cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or worse, cause their new business to fail completely. I'm a business broker, helping people buy and sell businesses. Today, I'm going to walk you through the top 5 mistakes I see first-time buyers make over and over again, and more importantly, exactly how you can avoid them. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know more than 90% of people out there trying to buy a business. But first, let's talk about why this matters so much. Buying a business is probably one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. We're talking about your life savings, your future income, and potentially years of your life. Here's a fun fact. About 70% of small business acquisitions fail within the first 5 years. That's 7 out of 10. But here's the good news, and this is really important. 90% of these failures could have been prevented with proper guidance and by avoiding just a few key mistakes. That's what we're here to do today. These 5 mistakes I'm about to share with you, they're all completely preventable. You just need to know what they are and how to avoid them. So let's get into it. Mistake number 1, skipping due diligence. This is by far the most common and most expensive mistake I see. People get so excited about a business. Maybe it's in an industry they love, or the seller is really charismatic, or the numbers look good on the surface, and they rush in without thoroughly investigating what they're actually buying. Here's what happens. You fall in love with a coffee shop. The owner tells you it earns $150,000 in profit each year. You get excited, you make an offer, you close the deal. Then 3 months later, you discover that half the revenue was from a corporate contract that ended last year. There's a major lawsuit pending with a former employee, and the espresso machine that's like new actually needs a $20,000 replacement. Sounds like a nightmare? It is, and it happens all the time. So here's how you avoid it. You need to review at least 3 to 5 years of financial statements, not just what the seller shows you, but tax returns, bank statements, the whole picture. You need to verify every customer and supplier contract. Check for pending lawsuits, liens on the property or equipment. Physically inspect the inventory and equipment condition. Don't just take the seller's word for it. And here's the key. Hire professionals. Get a business attorney to review the legal side. Get a CPA to analyze the financials. Yes, this costs money up front, but I promise you, it's a tiny fraction of what hidden problems will cost you later. Remember, due diligence isn't being paranoid, it's being smart. Mistake number 2, overpaying for the business. This one is tough because emotions get involved. You've been looking for months. You finally find a business you like, and you convince yourself that it's worth whatever the seller is asking. Maybe you're competing with other buyers. Maybe you're just tired of searching. Whatever the reason, you end up paying way more than fair market value. Here's why this is so dangerous. If you overpay for a business, you're starting in a hole. You need to make enough profit not just to pay yourself and cover expenses, but also to pay off that inflated purchase price. It could take you years longer to break even, and that's assuming everything goes perfectly, which it never does. I've seen buyers pay double what a business was worth because they got into a bidding war, didn't understand industry valuation multiples, or didn't have anything to compare it to. So here's the solution. First, get an independent business valuation from a professional, not from the seller's broker, your own independent expert. Second, research industry, multiples, and comparable sales in your area. A restaurant should typically sell for 2 to 3 times its annual profit, give or take. If someone's asking 6 times profit, you better have a good reason why. Third, calculate your realistic return on investment and payback period. If it'll take you 10 years to make your money back, that's probably not a good deal. And here's the most challenging part. You have to be willing to walk away. There are always more businesses for sale. Don't let a scarcity mindset make you overpay for your future. Mistake number 3, ignoring cultural fit. This one doesn't get talked about enough, but it's absolutely critical. Just because a business is profitable doesn't mean it's right for you. I once worked with a buyer who was a software engineer. Super analytical, loved working alone, not very social. He bought a busy restaurant because the numbers looked great. Within 6 months, he was miserable. He hated dealing with customer complaints, managing staff drama, and working nights. He was good at his old job, but he had none of the skills needed to run a restaurant. He eventually sold the business at a loss just to get out. Here's what you need to understand. You're going to spend 60, 70, maybe 80 hours a week in this business, especially at the beginning. If you don't genuinely enjoy the work or if it doesn't match your skills and personality, you're setting yourself up for failure. So here's how to avoid this mistake. First, do an honest assessment of your own strengths and weaknesses. Are you good with people? Do you like technical work? Are you organized? Can you handle stress? Second, spend real time in the business before you buy it. Work a few shifts if possible. See what it's actually like day to day. Talk to the current employees, talk to customers, get a real sense of the culture and the work environment, and think about your lifestyle goals. If you want a work-life balance, don't buy a business that requires 80-hour work weeks. If you need summers off for your kids, don't buy a seasonal business that's busiest in July. The business needs to fit your life, not the other way around. Mistake number 4, underestimating working capital needs. This is a silent killer. People put together every penny they have to make the down payment on the business, close the deal, and then they actually have no money left to run the business. What happens next is predictable. A key piece of equipment breaks down, and there's no money to fix it. Sales are slow the first couple of months during the transition, and you can't make payroll. A big customer doesn't pay on time now. You can't pay your suppliers. Before you know it, you're drowning in debt and the business is circling the drain. The harsh reality is this: cash flow problems kill more businesses than almost anything else. You can have the best business in the world, but if you run out of cash, you're done. So here's the solution, and this is non-negotiable. You need to set aside 6 to 12 months of operating expenses after you buy the business. Not for the purchase, for running it. Budget for unexpected repairs, equipment replacements, and upgrades. There's always something. Account for the transition period where sales might dip because customers are nervous about the ownership change. Before you even close, secure a line of credit from the bank while you still have good financial standing. And please, please, do not drain your personal emergency fund to buy the business, and you need a safety net. Think of it this way: the purchase price is just the entry fee. Working capital is what keeps you in the game. Mistake number 5, going it alone without expert help. I get it, you're trying to save money. Professional fees add up. A business broker might charge 10% commission. A good business attorney might cost $5,000 to $10,000. A CPA for due diligence might be another few thousand. So you think, I'll just do it myself. How hard can it be? Very hard. Very hard. Here's what happens. You miss a crucial clause in the purchase agreement that comes back to bite you. You don't structure the deal tax efficiently and end up paying way more to the IRS than you needed to. You skip important due diligence steps and end up inheriting someone else's problems. You negotiate poorly, leaving money on the table. I've seen first-time buyers lose $50,000, $100,000, and even more because they tried to save a few $1,000s in professional fees. Think about it this way. Would you do your own open heart surgery to save money on the surgeon? Of course not. Buying a business is financial surgery. You need experts. Here's what you should do. Work with an experienced business broker who can help you find the right opportunity and negotiate favorable terms. We see hundreds of deals and know what the market rate is and what's overpriced. Hire a business attorney who specializes in acquisitions. Not your cousin who does real estate closings, someone who does this every day. Engage a CPA to analyze the financial statements and tax returns. They'll find things you'd never see. Consider hiring an industry consultant if you're new to the sector, someone who knows the business inside and out. And join a business buyer support group or mastermind. Learning from others who've been through it is invaluable. Yes, all of this costs money, but it's an investment that pays for itself many times over by helping you avoid expensive mistakes. All right, before we wrap up, let me give you 4 quick bonus tips that'll help you succeed. Bonus tip number 1, trust your gut. If something feels off about the deal, if the seller is evasive, if the numbers don't quite add up, if you just have a bad feeling, investigate further or walk away. Your intuition is usually picking up on something real. Bonus tip number 2, plan the transition. Carefully negotiate a training and support period with the seller. You want them to stick around for 30, 60, even 90 days to help you learn the business, meet key customers, and transition relationships. Don't try to figure it all out on your own from day one. Bonus tip number 3, start small. Your first business doesn't have to be your dream business. Think of it as getting an MBA in business ownership. Buy something manageable, learn the ropes, and then you can scale up or buy something bigger later. Bonus tip number 4, never stop learning. Take courses on business ownership. Read books about your industry. Network with other business owners. Join associations and attend conferences. The most successful business owners are constantly learning and improving. All right, let's wrap this up. So to recap, the 5 biggest mistakes first-time business buyers make are 1. Skipping due diligence. 2. Overpaying for the business. 3. Ignoring cultural fit. Underestimating working capital needs. 5. Going it alone without expert help. Avoid these 5 mistakes and you'll be ahead of 90% of first-time buyers out there. Look, buying a business is scary. There's a lot that can go wrong. But with the right preparation, the right team, and the right mindset, it can also be one of the best decisions you ever make. I've helped hundreds of people successfully buy businesses and achieve financial freedom, and there's no reason you can't be next. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm show it to other people who need it, and definitely subscribe to the channel. I post new content every week about buying and selling businesses, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. Drop a comment below and let me know. What's your biggest concern about buying a business? Are you worried about finding the right business, financing, the transition? Let me know and I'll make sure to address it in a future video. And if you're serious about buying a business and want professional help navigating the process, feel free to reach out. I'd love to chat about how I can help you avoid these mistakes and find the perfect business for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.